Shadow and the Rookie would be walking along the way. Shadow would ask, "Where on earth are they?" And the Rookie gives a simple hand gesture, saying for them to follow. Sonic is curious to what the Rookie is up to, and just how on earth did he end up in null space, trapped in this void? Shadow continuously looks around and notices about all of the paths changing. However, the Rookie introduces Sonic and Shadow to a couple of, soldiers from the Resistance. Sonic asks how on earth did they get it all in here? And they reply. One of them says that they've been fighting Infinite in this world for a long time. Quite a while after the war, something went on differently. And the other Resistance members, they end up pulling their weapons on Shadow. Sonic tells him that he's okay and that he's with them. And Sonic ultimately comes to the conclusion that they have been mostly kept, that they were some of the early Resistance members who early on in the war must have been taken to null space. Shadow obviously asks them a simple question. The simplest of questions. Why are they here? The Rookies then respond that they were part of their own sort of division. They were essentially a smaller Resistance group that used to attack Eggman. They caused a lot of chaos and havoc in his bases. In fact, a lot of them. However, when the Doctor took over, things definitely changed as their base got destroyed and they were on the run. But they decided to tackle one of Eggman's Death Egg robot sentinels. And while they did manage to defeat it with the help of gadgets, Infinite ended up somehow destroying most of them. He banished most of them, except the Rookie, to null space. And that would be that cutscene that we see in Sonic Forces. The Rookie himself looks a little sad, as these were actually some of his friends. And he was glad that he's able to reunite with them. And they all stood their ground. There used to be more of them, but Infinite annihilated them. All they want is to simply go home, and they want to continue the war. But Sonic says that the war's over. Eggman's been defeated, and his control over the world has been broken. But Shadow butts in, stating that there's still more Eggman settlements that needs to be destroyed. The Rookies say that they've been trapped in here for a long time, and that null space is always evolving. It changes, it's a shape-shifting dimension. And Infinite is the one who controls every single bit of it. But it's growing more and more unstable. Since the battle with the Chaos Emerald, with the Supersonic, and of course, with Phantom Infinite. They mention on how they saw Supersonic, as well as Gadget, take down Phantom Infinite. But things didn't actually go well, as after when Infinite was defeated, he still remained in null space. He simply just shot Supersonic out and the others, while he hid inside of null space. Sonic comes to the conclusion that they all need to work together if they're going to escape. And the Rookie nods. They try to think of many different unique ways to get out of here, and Sonic thinks that they definitely would have benefited if Tails was here with them. Shadow can't take it any longer and walks out, and Sonic goes with him. He tells the rookie to stay with his friends, and they'll be back. As the two of them walk on, they see, of course, what's known as Phantom City, or Phantomopolis. This place. Shadow looks at it in all of its weirdness. He states that the city is, well, horrific. To which Infinite then appears. He mentions that it's some of his best work and that he should not be so critical to something like this. Sonic tries to talk Infinite out of this and just to let them free. But Infinite refuses, saying that this will be the end game. This will be the undoing. And that he will not undo what he started all those months ago. He successfully helped Dr. Eggman take over the world. And he was the most powerful being in the universe, nay, the multiverse. And this is his world, his empire. He then tells them that if they want to get out of here, they'll have to fight for it. They'll have to make him. As null space, again, is unpredictable, so they can't just go charging at Infinite in hopes of taking him out. Shadow dashes towards Infinite, but he summons a wall and cannons that fire behind him, catching him off guard. Sonic dashes on forward and spin dashes towards him, but Infinite simply grabs a cube hand. Well, he creates a cube hand, and it grabs Sonic, throwing him against the wall into Shadow. Infinite claims that they're not as powerful as they once were. As in null space, Infinite, and that I am at my full potential, my full power, my infinite power, said Infinite. Of course, this would be where the boss fight would be, but Infinite decides to let them go, to regroup, as he likes a challenge. He then flies off, hoping to take on whatever challenge and to rebuild his city, his mighty, powerful Phantomopolis city, an empire for Infinite, a home for him. And yeah, he flies off to do his own thing. Back with Sonic and Shadow, they begin to notice the exit, which is, in fact, which shows the portal. It's back to, well, Green Hills. And as they dashing towards it, they would see Infinite, who then appears. He mentions how he's not going to be fighting them just yet. They need to, he needs more time. So, he's going to be sorting everything out. Till then, he's cooked up something just for Sonic and Shadow. As he snaps his fingers, Sonic and Shadow begin to fall down below. And it looks like that all things are all gone. Just then, a bunch of cubes form around, creating an environment separating the two. When Shadow looks around, he hears a familiar noise, a sort of scream noise. When he awakes, he sees Infinite on top of the bio-lizard, ready to attack. Infinite states that he went through his file to see if there was anything he could do to take him on, and found this. That apparently he was created by Dr. Eggman's grandfather. And this was his original prototype. He then mocks Shadow for being, well, a failure, and he thinks that this thing would have been a way more better, well, ultimate life form, as it begins to charge up and to attack. Sonic then continues to fall down below, and he ends up in the Death Egg of all things, looking around, and he then sees the Death Egg robots, which it seems to have grown more arms and, well, wings, thanks to Infinite's influence. Meanwhile, in the real world, Tails would be searching through and just, well, fixing stuff at the Resistance base. Well, in his little shop at the Resistance base. However, he then gets a notification from, well, a distress signal from one of the rookies. And he ultimately realizes that it's coming from somewhere, but he doesn't know where. Just then Amy comes by and asks him that a bunch of rookies ended up going missing. But then Tails mentions that Sonic and Shadow are missing as well.